So how do I make these videos anyway? You're probably asking. And actually, I don't think I've ever been asked that. But I figured I'm doing 30 videos in 30 days. I might as well just do it while I'm here. So how do I make a Kyle Landon weird, funny, whatever music production type of video? What do I got going on? I'll tell you. And the first step starts in here before anything. I click this, and then I click this too. Now we're in business. So what did I just do, and why does it sound so much better? So what is computer.flp, you might ask? Well, in cooperation with this Babyface, which we'll get to, all of the audio on my computer, both in and out, is being managed in real time by FL Studio, thanks to some psychotic routing I have going on. So usually when I'm just listening to stuff, I love having Can Opener on it, and I love having and I love having the sound ID turned on to these settings from my HD600s. Everything sounds incredible, but it also adds a little bit of latency, so I gotta turn it off a lot of the time when I'm doing things like this. So yeah, here I have my microphone coming in, and then I have all my settings, my compression, and my limiting, EQs, etc., etc. And then I have another track here that only I can hear, so I can hear myself and make sure that I'm, speaking legibly. Before I even start actually recording anything for any video, I have to make sure that everything is sounding good and looking good with the resolution. You might have noticed this looks real crusty. I'm rocking a 4K monitor, and I can only record in 1080p because I don't know, that's what my system can handle. It's not a bad system, I built it myself. Here's the specs. But OBS just cannot handle recording in 4K for me, so I do everything in 1080, which means if I want to make it look good in 1080, I gotta go ahead and change my resolution to 1080. And now everything's huge. So now I gotta go in FL and that's weird. I gotta go change it to 100, and now we're looking pretty good. So yeah, I usually have 2 FL Studios running at all times to actually talk about the video itself. Usually, as far as where do I get my ideas from, they just show up. I don't know. But as you can see, I got 2 monitors. So what's going on in these monitors? Well, of course, everything you see over here is what you're gonna see. But over here, you probably definitely noticed this little red box floating over here. So that's actually my Google Keep that I like to use for note-taking. I do everything in Google Keep. I got my notes in there, I got lyrics in there, I got ideas in there, I got dreams in there, I got thoughts and motivation in there, I got things to do in there, everything. It's pretty much in a way my diary. But yeah, I've always liked to Google Keep for years and years. So usually in here, I'll sort of have, the idea and possible different title ideas, different thumbnail ideas, the idea itself, things I might want to do, jokes I want to hit. Sometimes there's a whole script, sometimes there's no script. But yeah, that's what this red box is. I use red, you can color code it whatever. I like to use red as sort of this is what I'm doing now. But yes, here on this other screen, in the other half of this ultra wide monitor, we have OBS. So what do I be doing with OBS? Nothing crazy. So I got my microphone with the effects. Let me actually pull it up. I'm not even gonna attempt to explain. So this back here is my interface. It is a RME Babyface Pro FS. It is quite an expensive little nugget, but I've been loving it. And apparently it'll last you forever, both physically and in the software. They software update everything forever. And it's sitting on top of, hold on, I got flash in this, right? Yeah. It's sitting on top, it just shows off all the dust. I got a JDS Labs Atom Amp 20, which I don't even really think I need. I did need it when I was using a Scarlett, just a solo 2nd generation. But yeah, it's just for these HD600s. This right here is my guitar cable. It's a Fender. It is incredibly short. It is horrific. Don't look at my snacks. It is horrifically short. But I found out that the shorter the cable, the better, and I tested it for myself, and it is 100% true. But yeah, I have some speakers back there. I don't even know what they are. There's a Fez holding my guitar strings and picks. I don't even know what. I can zoom with this, right? Yeah, I can. Wow. I barely use it. I use it mostly when other people are here. I'm a headphone man. But yeah, the RME Babyface allows me to use this horrifying software called Total Mix. I don't even know if I can explain it. It took me a while to get everything set up, and now everything's set up perfect, but it took a while to get here, and I just have to leave it and hope that nothing happens. Yeah, you can control all your volume and everything, and for all your inputs and outputs, but you can also loop back things, and you can route things. So that's how I'm able to route in my FL Studio SEO audio without having to use any sort of virtual cable or a different, whatever. I can just, it's straight up here it shows up. I can just tell ADAT 3 and 4, hey, loop back. This is the volume of it. I pull the volume up, and now it's sending the FL Studio signal to this ADAT. As you can see, there it is. So yeah, it's a little faded out, but I have 2 audio tracks going. One audio track for all the desktop audio, if I pull up a YouTube video or whatever, and for the SEO, those both go on the same track. I could separate them if I want, but there's never been a reason to. And then I got my microphone on the second track, so I can do whatever sort of mixing later when I'm mixing the video. I also have some pretty dramatic sync offset going on that took me a while to dial in, and that is because of this right here. So I also have this webcam. I don't use in videos anymore really, but I do use it in the live streams that I've done 3 live streams ever. I say that like I'm a streaming pro. As you can see, this camera is nothing more than my phone. And though I'm looking at the OBS, I don't know what's what right now. But yeah, it's an app called DroidCam. I paid money. I paid like $5 for this. Yeah, DroidCam. And it's got a lot of settings, lets me pick the lens I want to use and this and that, or the camera, whatever. And it's actually pretty convenient to have, just a little phone. I can just, do whatever I want. Even though I barely do it, I'm gonna probably start doing it more. It has a pretty significant delay. So I used to correct it in post, but that became taxing on my editing. And so I, over the past couple of days, have been figuring out the sync issue. So I've had to set all of my inputs, all of my video and my audio, everything except for the phone is being delayed by different amounts that I had to figure out over time. But everything's pretty synced up now. I don't really have to worry about it ever again, I hope. This is my keyboard. I hate it. It's really, really bad. It gets stuck. It's a Corsair like C55 or something. I hate it. I would not recommend it. There's my custom mouse pad. I got a couple of these. Right now it's the Blindcat. There's my game controller and my car keys. Back here I don't use it as often as I should. I got my Launchpad X, and then my main keyboard, the Arturia, a Keylab 49 Mark II, of course. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's good, but it makes this weird noise sometimes when I'm playing the keys. They're very loud keys, and maybe just because my thing is open back, I can hear it all the time when I'm playing it. Okay, so now you know the setup, but what actually goes on when I'm making one of these? Let's see. So I turn on my keyboard, get my typing keyboard in place, pull it up. So now I gotta sit here and wonder what to do. So definitely the first thing that I do is, just hype myself up to hit the record button. It takes a lot out of you sometimes, and you don't know if you're gonna get any views. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if the video's gonna be any good. So, there's definitely a lot of intensive adjustment and preparation and comforting. Definitely a lot of comforting, hyping myself up. The process to really have the courage to hit the start recording button can take anywhere from 5 seconds to 5 weeks or so, So a lot of the time, it'll be a full screen camera me, or it'll be me in a corner. And that's me doing it in OBS live. I'm always looking over here to make sure my camera isn't like blocking something important. Sometimes I miss, but there is a lot of recording pausing. Okay. Usually, if I know I'm not saying nothing or I'm just looking something up, we pause. And I'll show you how that goes when I really start writing the music in a second. This isn't usually how I come up with my ideas, but today, I'm gonna open up YouTube, and according to my algorithm, the first plugin or instrument or whatever that I see, I will make a video about. We're gonna keep it simple for this tutorial. Oh yeah, I've been seeing this for a couple of days, ignoring it. I guess it's time to stop ignoring it.
Hey everyone, it's Sound Font Guy, and today...
Man, you dare ask me for money on Bandcamp Friday? Ooh, free alternatives. On GitHub, you're gonna make me compile it? Okay, so now I've unpaused the recording, and I have the plugins. I didn't even watch the video. Shout out to that guy. I'll link it in the description, I guess. I now have the plugins installed and ready, and this is the part of the video where I start making a song or something. And how does that go? I start making a song, and now I'm about to hit pause, and we're gonna see what happens. Now, sometimes I like to leave the recording going, you know, to really capture those little moments. But for the most part, I usually pause it, and then I hit record again when something happens, and then I sort of recreate whatever that magic was. Sorry to be a disappointment.
I'd be fine on my own, baby. Never felt so lonely than you came along.
So a lot of the times when I hit that pause button, anything could happen before I unpause it again. I saw PSX, you know, all this PlayStation stuff going on. I'm actually in the middle of playing Silent Hill 4 right now for the first time. It's cool. I'm enjoying it. I also noticed Vinny started playing it like 2 days after I did. But, you know, I get distracted. It'd be like that. So I just noticed something, and then I had a thought. I just unpaused the recording, and now I'm going to do it again and say it out loud like it's the first time. You ready? Ooh, that's super PlayStation-y. Definitely. And now I'm gonna hit pause again. Unpause the recording to show this off. And then sometimes I'll leave it going because I know what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna enable this. Mess with it a little. Also, there's definitely some glitches going on. These are 32-bit. Okay. That reaction right there was a live thing. So you never know what you're gonna get. Okay, I knew I was gonna do Tempo Tapper, and then I did it. Then I realized, oh, I should record this. It'll be a cute little thing to have in the video. Well, that was slower than when I did it off camera. I've been a fan of 8 bars. See how I misspoke? But I just hopped right back on. I've been a fan of 8 bars for a little bit. Stuff just seems more complicated in a good way when you do it 8 bars. It makes you seem like you know what you're doing. I've made a little bit more progress. I unpause and I play it. Click around, show off whatever's going on. Sometimes I get real strange ideas and I have to try it out, and it is what it is. Okay, I've actually been toiling on this for a while. It is not done. I just keep going. I just keep going. Okay, I got this feel right. And now I unpaused it to show you. See that? Just that little. Yeah. This song was not supposed to go like this. And sometimes my Droid Cam I paid like $12 for disappears. I gotta go. Weirdo. Anyway, this PlayStation Reverb's pretty cool. I don't use FPC much at all. It's weird that I'm using it now, but I should be able to send. And then sometimes I get spam calls and I hit it with the red. Man, I hate it when I hit hang up on like a spam call, but then the phone tells me I missed the call anyway. It makes me feel like they won. Yeah, I just want to send. I like how that snare sounds in this reverb, but not the rest of it. So I can output that, right? Perfect. Okay, drag that here. Now we got 2 reverbs on 1 drum. I clip and limit everything. And then I just keep going. And now I unpause to show you I got the Final Fantasy VII sound font. So why not? We're in a PlayStation mode. Okay, so there was something odd live right there. I didn't know. I did not know this sound font did that. I found that out live. Another reason why this keyboard makes me mad sometimes. Sometimes it just holds notes. That's not supposed to be like that. Quantize. But maybe I will just keep changing the instrument till something happens. Keep changing the instrument till something happens. But maybe I will just keep changing instruments till something happens. Changing instruments till something happens. Just keep changing instruments till something happens. Good enough. Keep changing instruments till something happens. This might be cool. Okay. It needs some swing to it. I like the notes, but the rhythm can be a little loosened or tightened. I don't know. I figured it out. Double the notes. And then sometimes I get lost in it and I end up doing a lot without recording it. So I gotta kind of pick up the pieces once I do record again. I really, really like this. I gotta change the key. I love that. I just realized right now that's a very, if you know, you know, that's a very like Sonic 2 type of thing going on there. Speaking of Sonic 2, I wanted to layer this with the dulcimer and the choirs, but it wasn't sounding right. But maybe if I layer it, yeah, I'll just use a sound font. I don't care. These this couldn't have gone better. These mesh perfect. Perfect. Honestly, at least for a first draft, I'm happy with it. It's not like a complete song, but I'm satisfied. Could always come back to it later. My music is my music. Do as I please. Cut that there. Add an empty pattern. Cool. And just like that, the song, I hit F12 to clear everything. I like to do this up here too, for some reason. And now I guess I mix and master a little bit. I don't do a whole lot. I guess I'll show this process too. Why not? First thing I do, make sure everything is numbered properly. Sort by track. I always use 1 as the recording, and I just leave it even if I'm not recording anything in this song. First thing I like to do, because I had some bad experiences with cracked plugins in the past, where I would have a preset open. I'd have my settings set up. This was Omnisphere, and I had to save the song. I'd make the song, I'd save it, I'd close it, come back to it the next day, and it's completely blank. And I've been very traumatized by that multiple times. So I've developed this habit where I make sure in the names of everything, because I export my stems too, multi-tracks, I guess you'd call them, I make sure that everything is labeled as precisely as possible. If it's a preset, I'll name it the preset. If I make any big adjustments to the preset, I'll add in the name what adjustments I made. It's a sampler, just add sampler. I did not expect the FPC usage. Dulcimer. I just found out about like the home button and the end button and the delete key in the last couple of years. Like the last year, I actually found out like what they do and how to use them effectively. Crazy. All named, and then I like to color. I'm thinking it's kind of a whitish gray into sort of a blue. That's pretty. And now I make sure I have everything selected. Route along starting from this track. Now these are named. I skipped 6. I'll come back to that because 6 is the snare with the reverb. Route it again. Paste in the name, paste in the color, and then say this is the snare out. It looks better when it's in 4K, but I'm doing this on 1080p right now. The names aren't as truncated. Also name the song. I gotta name the song something. I think I will name it, I gotta reach deep in the subconscious for, I meditate. I've been meditating an hour first thing in the morning all this month. So let me reach down into the collective consciousness and see the first thing that pops into mind. Olive branch zone. Olive branch zone. I don't know what the collective consciousness was thinking. So I'll just clean up the mix now, clean up the master. I guess that's a different video if anyone wants to see my mixing process. All right, and now I'm happy with the mix. I even had to side chain a little bit. Yeah, let me know if you're interested in a boring old mixing video. I guess just all my mixing principles and ideas and go-tos. That would probably be the video that blew up out of all the stuff, me being creative, this and that. No, people just want to see how I mix better. It is what it is. If that's how it goes, if this September thing is the last stand of me being creative and I just turn into tutorial content, then I don't know, man. As long as I get to make a living off of music, I guess it's cool. So usually, if this was just a song, it would be done, render. Here's my render settings, split mixer tracks, of course. But, and I don't do this in every video. I've been trying to figure out if I should or not. I don't know if having it in messes with my viewer retention or not. But, sometimes I'll have, at the end of the video, I'll have the song play through and, it'll do the whole, it's automatically going with this button up here. But yeah, as you can see, this isn't all that interesting to look at. And I found out through watching a live stream from T. Lopes. Shout out T. Lopes. No, you can actually, I like to clone it, call it video. Can combine the whole thing, merge selected clips, and then split by channel, and then you can go ahead and drag everything down, and all of a sudden you got these cute little pretty looking things just like everybody else. I guess I'll drag that on top, why not? Yeah, so now I can full screen it and hide the browser, even and hide my webcam and zoom in an appropriate amount, this and that. Some people like to add visualizers up in here in the corner or whatever. You can do whatever you want, but yeah, and then I just hit play. So yeah, that's how that's done. Gummy worm. Fine. And now I edit. It's an hour footage plus however long this ends up being. But yeah, as you can see, we got the 2 tracks of audio. There's me yapping. I use Premiere Pro. I guess I'm not as new to it as I'd like to think, but I was using Sony Vegas for like 10 years. And then I don't really know why I switched to this. No, actually I do remember. It's because of the multi-tracks. Sony Vegas wasn't working with I still call it Sony. Sony hasn't worked on it for like 10 years. Vegas doesn't work with these multi-track videos, but Premiere does. So I was like, okay, well, I'll learn it, whatever. And I like it. It's got its quirks, but everything does ever. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot, nothing too crazy unless I have a crazy idea. I use Q a lot, cut backwards, W, cut forward. And I have a shortcut, Alt and Q, to make a cut wherever the timeline thing is. So that's very important to me. Those are pretty much the 3 things that I use. Every once in a while I'll make something in After Effects. Every once in a while I'll make something in Blender as far as like an effect or a graphic or whatever. Here's my thumbnail template in Photoshop, where I will sit here and stress out. Sometimes the idea comes instantly. Other times it takes a while, but the title and thumbnail, man, lost sleep over such matters. Ridiculous. And sometimes I'll have a great idea, sometimes I'll have an idea. It's just, I don't know. It's a strange art, but it's one you gotta respect if you want any mileage out of it. I'll give you a tip if you make videos too. There's this site, thumbsup.tv, and this is how you can see what it'll look like to people. So how is the title gonna look? Is it gonna get cut off? This is an excellent thumbnail. I just wish the tear was a little more visible. Maybe I have to do something about that. I don't know. Sometimes you be putting stuff in this corner. Is it gonna get cut out by the time? And if it does it matter? I don't think it matters for this one. I don't know. I guess that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording too. Get to editing this and get it out today. It'll probably be too late for it to matter by the time this comes out, but a happy Bandcamp Friday. 6 out of 30 for Sub Me Up When September Ends. Still going strong. This is probably the only video that's gonna be like this as far as informational. At the same time, let me know if this is a direction I should maybe head a little bit more in sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.